Hello, my name's Libby, and for those of you who don't know, I'm a psychological wellbeing practitioner. That basically means that I use something called low intensity cognitive behavioural therapy to support with common mental health concerns such as stress, anxiety, low mood. And in light of what's going on in the world at the moment, what's going on for us as a nation with COVID-19 and being in isolation, I really wanted to I guess put out an olive branch that if anyone is struggling, please speak to me. I can absolutely signpost to you in the way of self-help materials, and maybe support you to find a good link of support in your community, and I'm more than happy to help do that. I guess the purpose of this video today is to look at what we can do to keep ourselves well at this time. So attending to the 5 ways of well-being and thinking about some concepts that a very amazing person called Russ Harris has suggested at the moment, and I just wanted to highlight some of those things so that we can think about how to remain well in this time. So firstly then, thinking about the 5 ways to well-being. So for those who don't know, the 5 ways to well-being are around giving, keeping active, connection, so connecting with others, continuing to learn and keeping up to date with skills, and taking notice, so being able to be aware and refocus your attention to what's going on for you in the present moment. So thinking about those, it's really good to start reflecting yourselves on what you can be doing in your day-to-day to attend to these things, because they're really, really important for us and our well-being. So what ways can you be giving? Well, at the moment we have to be a bit creative about that, but can you consider your vulnerable neighbour? Can they get their groceries and their medicines? Can you be thinking about how maybe they're limited with their connection? Can you be that connection with, I guess, keeping that social distance? So that's a way of giving. It might be about giving space to the people that you're cohabiting with because it's a really difficult time, or being there for them. Lots and lots of ways that we can give, and that's making us feel good and others feel good. Connection, really, really important, and I'm certainly hearing a lot of that on the TV. So there's lots of different ways that you can connect. There's lots of apps that you can use for video calls, for chatting, lots of ways that you can connect with people who are nearby or halfway across the world. But either way, I really stress the importance of connecting with others. We need that contact to make ourselves feel well. Please, please, please do not isolate and withdraw socially. It's absolutely imperative for your well-being to make sure that at least on some level you're remaining connected to someone and to things that you value. Keep learning. So perfect time to pick up a new hobby and skill. So for example, for myself, I'm learning Italian, so that already feels like something that I need to become more skilled in. So I'm going to develop on a skill that I'm already learning. But absolutely think about what are things that you've wanted to try. What can you try? What's actually a smart goal at the moment? So really consider, is it something that's achievable right now? So don't be thinking about picking up a hobby that's impossible while you're in isolation, but thinking about things that you could do and that you could be creative with. And again, technology is your friend in this respect. So if you're lucky enough to have access or to be equipped with technology, have a look and explore your options when it comes to learning a new skill. Being active, we have probably all heard about the importance of continuing to be active and keeping routines. I absolutely stress that. I think that's the first most important thing, because a lot of us will have lost our routines in this time. So trying to get up at the same time, trying to wash and dress and meet all your basic self-care needs at the moment, that's keeping us going. That's making sure that we're still attending to our basic needs. But being active also touches upon exercise, which what we know is, in terms of our well-being, if we have at least 10 minutes of exercise in a day, then we can reap a lot of benefit from that. we can really promote our well-being. So is there ways that you can carve out 10 minutes into your day to do something where your heart rate is increased? And that's essentially what exercise is. It doesn't have to be the traditional sense, but you can absolutely use workouts, contact your PT for exercises. Think about connecting with a friend from the gym, maybe FaceTiming them and doing exercises at the same time. That can allow us to remain connected, but also be active. But can you also pick up something else that can keep your heart elevated? Dancing around in the morning for 10 minutes to songs that you like, hoovering, cleaning the house, gardening. They're all things that can sometimes elevate our heart level, keeping our heart rate increased, keeping us moving. So that's being active, that's exercise. So anything that gets that rhythm going, please think about ways to be creative at this time. And I guess that's sort of allowing us to continue to set goals, things that we can achieve, that we can get a sense of achievement from, which is really important. And also then I guess the next thing for us to consider in the way of our well-being is taking notice. So really paying attention to what's going on around you, what's in your world, but also tune in to what's going on in your bodies. What are you feeling emotionally? What are you thinking? What are you doing or not doing? So it's really good to focus your attention on the present right now. And that's very important because a lot of us are going to be worrying. A lot of us are going to be feeling uncertain about things, and that's leaving us with a lack of control. And that can lead us to having a lot of unhelpful thoughts and a lot of physiological responses of anxiety. So being very tuned in to refocusing on what's going on for you and what can I do next. And that can introduce then some methods and tools and techniques that are really good. So for example, something that can help us refocus our attention on the present is a practice of mindfulness, which is another way of being aware. So what are 5 things that I can see around me? What are 4 things that I can hear? What are 3 things that I can smell? What are 2 things that I can taste or feel? Yeah, and going through this exercise over and over until you've completely focused your attention on what's going on right now. So tuning into your senses is one way of refocusing. We can also use just a mindfulness practice or guided app. For example, Headspace, Buddhify, Calm. So there's lots of ways to practice feeling relaxed, feeling in the present moment. The other thing that I wanted to mention is that Russ Harris, very excellent resource, writer of The Happiness Trap, if you've heard of it, has released a video which talks you through an acronym called F.A.C.E.C.O.V.I.D. So in this video, he explains different ways that we can start to really tune in to what's going on and keep ourselves well. So the first one is focus on what you are in control of. So removing and shifting your focus away from things you can't control, like what's going on in the world, like the virus spreading, and think about what you can have control over. Ground yourself in that. Acknowledge thoughts and feelings. So again, like we've said in the 5 ways to wellbeing, really important to pay attention to what's going on for you. So noticing what's going on, maybe labeling it. So identifying, I'm feeling this way, yeah? Or I'm noticing my body, this sensation, yeah? Coming back into your body, so using a refocusing technique, that could be the 5 senses technique that I've just spoke through in regards to mindfulness practice. It can be about kind of touching your fingertips perhaps, something that brings you back to your body and out of your head a little bit. Engaging in what you're doing, so making sure that if you find yourself floating away with worries and concerns about what's going on, which is completely normal, making sure that you refocus your attention to the current activity that you're engaging in. So that's, again, being more mindful. So that's our FACE. So focus on what you're in control of, acknowledge your thoughts and feelings, come back into your body and engage in what you're doing. COVID is committed action. So this can be considering, what can I do right now to make sure that life's feeling a little bit better for me and for others around me? Is there anything I can do to help my community? So thinking about a committed action that really fits in line with your values. Opening up. So opening yourself to difficult feelings, being kind to yourself in light of this. We know that we can't stop feelings emerging. That is a natural effect. So feeling anxious, feeling low, feeling stressed right now, completely normal and not within your control to stop them coming up. But what we do with them, we have control over. So thinking about sitting with them, acknowledging that they're normal, labelling them perhaps, and then consider some kind words that you can say to yourself to allow yourself to alleviate some of what's going on for you. And it's really important to be kind to yourself in this time anyway, so really think about that. And then values. So as we sort of mentioned, our committed actions come from values. So in order for us to fully engage in an action, it has to come from somewhere that we believe in. And so you might want to think about, what do you want to stand for in the face of this crisis? How do you want to treat yourself and others? And just look at ways that in your day-to-day you can be living in line with your values at the moment. And then the next thing to think about is identifying resources. So can you identify where you can get assistance, support? Can that be family? Can it be emergency services and knowing the numbers for that? Can it be, if you're having any support for your mental health, can you check in with your practitioner or therapist? Can you think about other ways and resources that you could be using right now? And again, I'm reaching out and saying that if you do need any support and you'd like some self-help materials, do let me know. I can guide you to some that may be common for a lot of people to be using at this moment and that can be helpful. Next thing is disinfect and distance. So very, very important that we are washing our hands regularly, following guidelines, wiping down surfaces that are commonly used on a regular basis. Household products will do. And thinking about maintaining a social distance, absolutely critical in this time to slow this spread and kind of reduce that curve. So I hope that all of those things make sense. So just to recap, so F.A.C.E.C.O.V.I.D is focus on what's in your control, acknowledge thoughts and feelings, come back to your body, engage with what you're doing, commit to an action, open up to difficult feelings, living in line with your values, and identify resources and disinfect and distance. So thank you, Russ Harris, for those suggestions. So we've got our 5 ways to wellbeing and our F.A.C.E.C.O.V.I.D ideas. And if you'd like to know some more support ideas, if you'd like more videos, let me know. Okay. Hope everyone's staying safe. Take care.